Hey,
Yo, what up? What it do? Done yet? Toby, what's happening? Good to see y'all. What's the dilly? What up, though?
what's good? What up, though?
How's it going, my guy?
Man, it's going great. It's going great. Just sitting here chilling, man. Good seeing y'all again. We are back, y'all. Can y'all believe it? They said we can come back. That
Oh
mean we
man,
must we must have done something correct.
I
Yeah,
mean, I would like to think so, man. It's been fun, so I hope the energy is going out to everybody else. But yeah, it's awesome, man.
we are back to your regularly scheduled program, if you feel me. Done yet? What? Ho,
That hat, man.
Lynch, wait a
What?
minute.
That hat.
My
Come
hat?
on, Lynch Street Legends. Yeah.
I mean, that's what we are, right?
Yeah,
Ah,
it
man,
is, man.
I see what you
Right?
did.
I love it.
See,
Anybody coming out of 1400, okay?
1400. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I like the head though. That's dope. That's fresh.
Yeah,
I
that
gotta
is
check. Is
fresh.
that a snap? That's a snap.
it's a snap.
It's a
It's a
snap.
trucker. It's a trucker
The
snap.
trucker.
Trucker.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Toby
trucker.
is going to
I'm gonna find.
probably have
I
that
am,
by the end of the week.
and I gotta wait
Yeah,
like 4 more episodes before I can wear it on the show, though.
you gotta wait.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Uh,
gotta
They
wait.
got
Done yet?
different colors though. So, you
I'll get a blue one.
know. Yeah,
Get a blue one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. Well, I'm ready to get this thing cracking, y'all. What y'all thinking?
Man, look, I was thinking, everybody from like 96 to 2004 probably know who we are. So
Mhm.
like I wanted to open up today and like have a question for both of you guys that maybe will allow other people to get to know who we are. And then they can also answer the question, in the chat. So like what do y'all think about that?
Run it.
good.
What's the question, Danielle? I'm scared. I'm nervous.
You shouldn't be, man. You shouldn't be. It's all band related.
Danielle, are
I'm
you
with. I'm
nervous?
with it. I'm with it. Let's do it.
All right, come
So
on, run it then.
So I was thinking because like I was walking the dog the other night, and it's a song that comes to me every night when I get into my rhythm and I'm walking. So I'm really like marching. So what song is it that in your natural life, while you were walking down the street, while you're working out in the gym, when you're not listening to music, what is that song that pop into your head that you go from beginning to end and you don't even have to have your headphones on?
Mm.
PYT.
Oh
Oh,
no! Gosh, that's
Period.
mine. That's my
Really?
song too.
Period.
Crazy. Go ahead,
I
Danielle.
knew one of you
My
guys was
God.
gonna pick that.
I got a story behind that. It's
Yeah.
it's definitely band related. Danielle, go
Listen,
ahead. That's
PYT. First of all, like PYT, the song, Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones, like the song is smooth and groovy, right? It's so smooth and so groovy.
Mm-hmm.
But and so I feel the exact same way when we started
Mm-hmm.
to play it. Like
Mm-hmm.
when you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
but playing it though. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's groovy, it's
Yeah.
funky, it's smooth. And I felt the exact same way. Like soon as I'm playing it, I'm like, psh,
Hey, That is crazy. That's a
You
good
know what I
one,
mean?
so.
Like
It's the only
Yeah.
song where the hi-hat part is in my head. Like I didn't play cymbals, but like.
But listen though, I
Yeah.
find myself listen, I find myself Danielle, check this out. I find myself doing this right here. I'm talking about I be making the horn cranking gestures like
Exactly.
I'm talking about humming everybody's part.
Hey,
Not mine.
what year was the first year we heard the?
Oh,
Did we that
two,
was 98,
2000.
wasn't it? Wasn't that song wrote in 98? Who wrote that?
Paul Adams
No,
wrote that.
no, he wrote that. I'm not. I don't know what year.
It had to be
Maybe
like
Ollie.
95,
Maybe our
96.
guest can tell
Yeah,
us. I
he
don't
probably can tell
know.
us. He can
I'm
tell us.
gonna tell you why. So
It was before '98 though.
it was before 98. It
Yeah.
was before 98. It
Yeah.
was because
And there's a story behind it. Go ahead, Terrell.
Yeah.
no, I was just saying my personal experience. So that's a crazy question. When that song come on the radio, man, I lose it. So I trained to be a drum major, but I didn't want to get off my horn. And we would march when Donnell, the aerobics instructor, when he would play PYT, we would be marching around everybody's around the aerobics class. So we're actually training to do the tryouts while the aerobics was going on. But when PYT would come on, we would be marching around the actual the old gym in the inside. Doing the Shaw and all of it.
The
All of
TB
the
Ellis Gymnasium.
TB, thank you. The
Is that what you're
TB,
talking about? The
that's what
old
I'm
gym.
talking about. That's called that's the TB Ellis. Thank you for that. A little bit of history. That's cool. Toby, that was a good one. I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah. I was hoping so, man. Mine is not PYT.
It's not?
No, it's not, man.
I got a second one though. I got a second one.
Go ahead.
I'll let you. No. You go ahead. I'll let you go.
Hey, nobody does it better. Mint condition. That's my joint, man. Like it just pops in my head. And I will tell you this: since 2018, it'll go from nobody does it better to the Bruno Mars cut that sounds just like it. Tripping on finesse.
Tripping on finesse.
You got me dripping with it. Yeah.
It's the same song.
Nobody
does it better, and tripping on finesse is the same song.
Huh.
Yep. I see where you're going with it. I do.
Yeah. And so like I'll go like when I'm walking, I'll go through like nobody does it better, and then it'll go right into tripping on. I'm like, oh, that's a natural mix.
Wow.
You know what?
Come on, DJ TBJ.
I'm not DJ. Don't do that.
Yeah, I hear it. Yeah, right. It's DJ now.
No.
Yeah, I can hear that. I can hear that song. That's interesting. Okay, then nobody does it better. So PYT, nobody does it better. All right, then. So that's cool. So, all right, y'all. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get into what we got going on. We got a guest. We got another special guest. All our guests are special. Toby, Danielle, who do we have coming to the stage?
None other than
the doctor.
One and only.
Liddell. Dr. Ollie Liddell.
Yo, what a goodness. I gotta give you right there in the face, baby. Ollie, what's happening?
Man, nothing much, guys. It's great to be here with you folks, man. I miss y'all, man.
Yeah.
I miss y'all.
Yeah.
We miss you too, guy. We miss you, man.
I miss you too, man. Y'all know Ollie lives like 30 minutes away from me.
Wow, man, life is rough, man. I mean, being a band director is
I got some words.
busy.
You said life is busy.
Lord Jesus,
tell them about it.
We got to get into that. We got to get into the business. I know, you being a outstanding band director and all of that good old thing, and winning awards and trophies and
oh my God,
accolades. And every time I look on social media, there's Dr. Ollie Liddell going across the screen with some type of superior rating or something, man. So kudos to you, my good brother, handling your business for real.
Thanks, man. It's just when you are passionate about something, you want to be good at it. Also, my last name is Liddell, so I always want to make my dad proud. I'm a Jacksonian, so I always want to make Jackson State proud. I want Jackson State, Jackson State family to be proud of the stuff that I'm doing. And I also have a secret ulterior motive is to turn out great students to send them to the boom, and which I continue to do. So that's part of why I do what I do. But it is I'm passionate about it. This is music, band. It's something I think about on a daily basis. How do I get better at my job? How do I get the kids better and get them prepared for life after high school and professional life and all that good stuff. So it goes to me. It's something that I had to kind of let my wife know. Hey, this is this thing that is it takes up a lot of time, and so and I still I'm a dad, so I got a little youngster to think about too. But it's cool. It's great. It's wonderful.
Hey, that's nice. Good, man. So we're gonna jump into it. So we just having conversations, man. We just chopping it up, talking, chilling, chitty chattering, and all of that good old stuff. Toby, Toby did something before you joined in here. Toby asked a question which I thought was a great question, and it took me by surprise because I wasn't prepared for it. Neither was Don. Yeah. So Toby,
I wasn't prepared for it.
You were prepared for it?
Yeah, I was prepared for it. But Ollie, like, quick question though, man. Like, when you're hanging out at the house, when you're walking in the neighborhood, when you're just hanging out with the kids, and a band tune pops in your head, marching, drilling, what's the song? What's your go-to?
Black and Blues. I can think about it more than and for me, it's like more in the yard. Boom, more in the yard. My wife teases me because I'll tell her, what's this song? I'm like, and what I realize is when I sing a song, I literally sing everybody's part at the same time. So it doesn't make any sense to anybody but me. But I'm like, yeah, that's the song. So that's what it's Black and Blues, man. Sometimes it's just, if I'm by myself and it's one of those things you kind of hide for your significant other that you're a little crazy. So I'm in the house just boom, boom, just randomly loud. And then one day she came home. She's like, what the heck is going on? I'm like, oh yeah, that's my band head. That's what we do.
Yeah, bandheads only get that, man.
Yeah, man, you just only you just be doing your thing, and you just start a bandhead song will come through, and whatever you do the motions, all of it are coming in, and I'm animated, and I get into it, man. So yes, Black and Blue.
That's
you know what though, I conduct ballads. If it's a slow record, and I'm like,
facts.
Like,
facts.
I'm conducting in the car. Like my wife, she be doing it too. Like, she be conducting songs and all kind of stuff.
Trying to drive, not the business.
So bandheads, you are not crazy.
No,
people just don't understand you. But bandheads understand you. I understand you when you.
You do that. That's perfectly normal to me. I think that's
right. It's perfectly normal.
Look, listen, just the last time I'm gonna say this. Have y'all ever like cut the band off while you were by yourself? Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Just cut it like at the end of the song, just cut everybody out. I don't know why. It's just so weird. I have no idea. So, all right, so Ollie, tell us where you're from and what instrument you play.
All right. First off, I'm originally from Jackson, Mississippi, born and raised. Ironically, I attended Jackson State University preschool, and we elementary school. I went to 4 different elementary schools, but 2 in Jackson. Then we moved when my dad got the job at Kentucky State. We moved to Frankfort, Kentucky. Then he got out of music, and my parents decided, hey, we're going to move to Murray, Kentucky. Then we moved to North Carolina. And then we moved to Minnesota, and then we came back to Jackson my junior year in high school, to Callaway High School, where I graduated.
And then you graduated and moved on to
Jackson State, Jackson State University, and where I played. Hold on, let me make sure I get this correctly for all Boom members. I play trombone, the funkiest section in the band, the best band in the land. See, y'all not trombone players. Y'all don't know that about that.
You got the
we
second
know.
part right. The best
We
buddy
know.
band in the
Right.
land.
We know.
I got stuck on the funkiest section piece. I was like, I didn't play trombone, so my section funky. What you talking about, sir?
See,
So
the non-boom folks don't know. It's like we love the Sonic Boom. We are. It's so we compete against each other's sections. It's not only that, it's my crab year. The year I came in the boom was the best crab class. And it is the years I was in the boom was the best. It's all to make us better. We used to always say, no one is our competition but us. We are our competition. We always compete against the Jackson State band that we know and we love. And we always compare every Jackson State band to that band. It could be a band you were in or the band that you watched that you fell in love with.
Amen. Facts.
The boom. And that is what you compare the boom to for decades to come. There's some thing, this band is going to continue on forever. It's funny how some of my students, they're talking about things in the band. I'm like, what are you talking about? And it's like, how do I put this? It's like they're looking at old school, and that's like, 15, 20 years after we were out the band, and they're like, this is old school. I'm like, what? First off, the tape has to be grainy for it to be old school. It has to be grainy or even hard to find. But anyway, but that is what non-boom folks really would. It maybe surprised that we are competitive amongst each other, and we love each other. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Terrell. I don't want to get on. I'll talk.
No. This is no. You have the floor, sir. You're the special guest. You're special. So special people get special privileges, and you can share what's on your heart because that's what we're doing. We're sharing stories, stuff like that. Like, I'm sure, like a lot of, I didn't know that you all. Well, I guess I didn't know y'all went from Kentucky to what part of Kentucky first? It was Kentucky,
Frankfort, Kentucky, Murray, Kentucky, and then Greensboro, North Carolina, then Winona, Minnesota.
I didn't know that. I didn't know all of those. I knew about the Kentucky, but I didn't know there were two separate Kentuckys that you all were living in. But so Ollie, like trombone, Sonic Boom of the South, freshman year. What was the inspiration? Trombone, Sonic Boom of the South into your freshman year. What was that inspiration like? Like how did that
Okay. A lot of folks, as a band director, people ask me, how did I choose trombone of all instruments? My dad's a band director, so obviously, back in his Provine days, I was around band my whole life from birth. My uncles were in the band at Jackson State. My dad was in the band at Jackson State. So I'm around Jackson State and the band forever. So I wanted to be in the band, obviously. And people asked how to pick trombone. My dad came home with a trombone, set it beside the bed, and said, "That's what you playing." So I said, "Okay." He said, "Okay, let me do it his way. This is what you play right here. I'm gonna hand you a mouthpiece tomorrow." And they had the mouthpiece, and that's what I played. How Jackson State? So I watched the boom growing up as a little kid when we were in Jackson. Other than on the TV, I didn't get to see the boom for many years. So we left Jackson for like 8 years. So not 8 years, 7 years, I think it was. So I didn't get a chance to see the boom until he came back in '92 to be the band director. And y'all know how it is as a little kid, you have a different level of appreciation for when you've actually gotten band yourself and you understand what the instruments are and what it takes to play and all this other stuff. So it's a different experience as a high school student seeing the boom. So in '92, I heard the boom play and it was like, oh my God. What? Oh my God. I was just blown away. First field show, engine number 9. I don't know. Y'all know I'm old. So when I heard that, man, and the song that sealed the deal for me, the boom brought it back a few years ago, is "Here We Go Again."
Oh man.
Portrait.
That was favorite.
That is all time Jackson State University Sonic Boom of the South song. No, it's not Get Ready. No, it's not the show. No, it's not PYT. It is Here We Go Again. Lord, I mean, if my high school band plays it, I don't care how old it is, we're gonna play it forever. That's my favorite song. It is to me, and we all, that's probably a question all of you get. What is the epitome of what the Sonic Boom is? The song is grooving so hard, bro. It has the like the jazz chords in it, and it's blowing. That's everything. That is Sonic Boom of the South right there. And when I heard that, because I had lots of scholarship offers, academics. I had one singular football scholarship, but that didn't, I didn't want to do that. And I had a lot of scholarship offers to play trombone at PWIs, at other HBCUs, but it was Jackson State. It was like, I can't deny my love. I love Jackson State. That D I love means something to me. We talk about from preschool back. Some of y'all might not even remember back when you could drive all the way through the. I'm not talking about even.
I remember that. No, I remember
like
that.
They had the donut people. The donut people. It's just all. My mom worked at Jackson State from my birth. She started at Jackson State in '76, if I'm not mistaken. So I would, when I got out of preschool, I'm going to my mom's office at the business department. She was she was a professor in the business department. Going to her office, and I was there, man. And people like just going back, like the Chicago. Why am I a Chicago Bears fan? My dad said, "Hey, that dude number 34 that played for the Bears, he went to Jackson State." I was a Jackson State fan before I was a Chicago Bears fan. That's how deep this thing is for me. And then the boom, man. It's the boom. It's y'all know. Y'all know.
We do.
But
we do.
People don't realize, a lot of folks don't realize the impact that the Sonic Boom of the South has on Jackson, Mississippi, and the world. The Deion Sanders phenomenon, before him, people know the boom everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. People know about the boom, man. It's amazing. It's wonderful. And I love it. Love the boom. Go ahead. I'm sorry. That's my rant.
I got a question about, you chose trombone because Doc told you that's what you were playing. So Doc had been he was hired as the director of bands in 92? 92. And you are a crab of 94, right? That's only 2 years. We've heard about the transition and how that was rough for everyone. And, the band members, Doc, the band staff, everyone. How was it as the son of the director of bands, the new, right, director of bands? How was it coming into the program? Like, how were you treated?
For some, I think I would probably treat it better than some, and a whole lot worse than others because I was band director son. I got a lot of it's a lot of pressure. Some of it is internal. I don't want to make him look bad because I'm finna know my music. And I can play. So there was that. But then I'm a teenager, man, and I don't want to be you just kind of like the preacher's kid kind of thing. And I'm the band director son, but it's some of it was fun and funny. And y'all went bad enough to know when sometimes he would, closing, he would give announcements like we're meeting at 6:00 and wear X, Y, and Z and have this, and then whatever we're playing. And it was funny. People used to say things and people would be cracking up. And I'm like, what's so funny? I didn't understand. Because I hear him talk all the time. So people are like, church of chicken. I'm like, what are you talking about? So what the funny thing was, like, he would give an announcement and you ought to see 200 heads turn around and look at you for a translation. And what did he just say?
What, a translation?
Yes.
Oh my God.
What did he say? And I was like, he said we're meeting at 6:00. Oh, okay. Because my dad as and I inherited his kind of gravelly. And one of my students said I need to pour lotion down my throat because my voice is ashy. They're not lying, but but he has a gravelly, folks that don't know Dr. Liddell, he has a very, very raspy voice. He has powerful lungs.
Powerful lungs.
And he's country. He's from Jackson, Mississippi. So, and he would say Verdant Edition. Actually, he say Verdant Edition is where he's from.
He ain't got time.
Hold on.
He didn't have time to complete it. He don't have time.
He had time.
You know what I mean?
My dad is from Verdant Edition, Bishop Street. Very, very. But that's a real interesting person. There's things about him. A lot of folks don't know that his involvement with the civil rights movement with him and my aunt. He was the second president of Junior SNCC. She was the first president of Junior SNCC, which is the high school version of SNCC. Arrested, marched with Dr. King, got shot at, bit by dogs, sprayed with water hoses, the whole nine in Jackson, Mississippi. And he'll, I'm not going to speak for him, but it's really interesting. Even in my dissertation, my dissertation was about the history of segregation, integration within the high school band programs in Jackson. And I mean, he was kind of the spark that sparked my interest to want to write that as my dissertation, because he would tell me about the stories about how it was in Jackson for band directors and students and everything, and how he was there. He started teaching in Jackson right as forced segregation ended in 1970. He was there the first year, and the connection is so deep. In those bands, his first band he taught, who was in his band, Dial Taylor.
Yeah.
And then the next band, Michael Magruder was in the bands that he taught there, and those guys went on to. So it's this history. It's deep, and I know I'm going all over the place. We talked about how it was like about their freshman year, and I got to this.
Ollie, I love your dad to death, man. I think that he's a part of the reason that I am where I am right now. But I also want to get more about you.
Sure.
And you just brought up something in your dissertation and talking about like the transformation in Jackson and the racial divide. And I don't know if like the new heads know about like how Callaway made a transformation, how Provine made a transformation, and you have your original 3-4 that were African American schools in Jackson. What did you find out doing your research?
Okay, wow, that's a loaded question. I'm not going to present my whole research.
No, not all of it.
Racism, the ills that fall in Jackson, Mississippi, stemmed eventually from Mississippi's past and present, to a certain extent present. The decisions by lawmakers and different things. The biggest thing is white flight. When I think white flight in Jackson, Mississippi rivals anywhere in the country, especially in the South. You will not, and that I'm pretty fairly certain of, compared to other medium to large size cities like Atlanta, Birmingham, Memphis, Mobile. It is the white flight. And if y'all don't know, those listening don't know, white flight is when segregation ended. A lot of the white folks moved out of the cities into the suburbs to get away from black folks, but then black folks moved too, but that's a different story. With that, they took dollars. Jackson's population is dwindling, and it's even trickled down. So now affluent African Americans don't live in Jackson, in the city of Jackson anymore. So it's a problem. So with that, it's a cycle. It trickles down to education. Obviously, affluent African American families, they're not living in Jackson. They're living in Byram. They're living in Clinton, Pearl, Madison, et cetera, et cetera. So they're students who are, if they're affluent or they're middle class, usually they're educated and their kids. It's genetic. Some of that is genetic. Hey, they're smart parents. Usually have smart kids. Those are that group of potential students are no longer even in the city anymore. Then their tax dollars leave, and therefore it's deep. There's issues with, there are kids that want to be in a band in Jackson they can't because they can't afford an instrument. So the high schools, the middle schools, they're suffering in a lot of ways. Now we have some good, especially Jackson State alums, that are really working to provide instruments for every kid that wants to be in the band in Jackson. Chris Liddell, who teaches at Jim Hill, is working on initiatives to help solve that problem. But it's a lot of it all stems from systemic racism. That are problems, and then some of it is just bad luck with band director turnover. Just the way when this band director retired, the timing is such that it really, it just a lot of those things. So there were the first black high school in Jackson was Lanier, and then there was Brinkley and Jim Hill. Well, in order: Lanier, then Jim Hill, then Brinkley. Those are the three African American or black high schools prior to segregation, ending of segregation to forced integration. Then, as literally, I think it was 80. I don't have the data. I don't have my exact data, but it's like 80% of the students, the white students, moved away that same year. So it's a lot of problems, and it didn't have to be that way. I don't think it was pronounced. White flight was not as pronounced in other areas as it is in Jackson. I'm just telling you, Memphis City schools where I teach, where Terrell taught you, there are white students in the schools in Memphis. Mm-hmm. Why there are like virtually no white students in the schools in Jackson at all. Mm-hmm. Prior to segregation, and it was about 70%. It's about the same as the population, right. The city and the population decrease. But it's deep. There's we'll be all night talking about this research, but it's deep, and does have effect on Jackson State. I think it does affect the boom in certain ways. But that's why I'm as a band director, I'm always going to try to I don't tell my kids where to go, but I do tell them, hey, this is Jackson State University. It's right here, and this could be you. And I want them to all go to school. I just want them to go to school and don't have a lot of debt when you leave school. But I steer them to the boom. Being since I first started teaching, I have a clarinet section leader, I think a trumpet section leader in the boom now. I've had virtually every section leader that's been from my program, and I'm gonna keep doing it, man. I got some good ones coming out. No horns, sorry. Got some good percussionists, Toby. Right. It's some good trumpets coming in the boom from my school. Got a couple of them, so no horns, unfortunately. Terrell, sorry, bro. Sorry, but
I'm saddened by that, but it's all good. So you talked about you said you mentioned something, Ollie, that I think is really, really important. You said you basically what you do is you telling your students, hey, you need to go to the boom. This is what the boom looks like. I came from the boom. I'm a product of the boom. So when you were in high school, going to Jackson State, and I'm still with your freshman year. Go
ahead. You bringing us back. You bringing it back.
I'm bringing no.
I took it all over the place.
No. You went. No. That was perfect. That was some good information, because a lot of times, and I don't want to get off. I learned something. Danielle learned something. Toby learned something from our guests about the program that we all marched in during your time, your era, or before you got there, or how you got there is totally different. Yeah. On how we got there or why we chose to go there. So all of that, what you said, it goes into the blender of how and why your matriculation through Jackson State in the boom even existed. So something you said that sparked a thought. You were talking about your students. So you being an alumni of the boom, Jackson State University, you're the one that's putting Jackson State, the sonic boom, into their ear, like into their mind. Like, look, Jackson State. I went to Jackson State. I'm your band director. They look up to you. They love you. So when you were a kid, your person was Doc. So when you got Doc and the rest of your uncle and everybody that was affiliated with Jackson State, so boom was automatic for you because Dad said boom, like you're gonna be trombone. So Do you think that back when you were being influenced and encouraged to go to the boom by your dad and everybody else, do you think that that was more of a reason or an easier reason for you or for a student to go versus listening to a parent versus listening to their band director?
No, I think it depends on the kid. It depends on the person. I was not. I want to be clear. I was not pressured to go to Jackson State. There was no pressure at all from my dad. Hey, you going to the boom now to play the trombone to get a scholarship? It's 6 of us, so college is expensive. So they were like, you go get a scholarship, but there was no pressure. And mom, unfortunately, she is a Gremlinite. She
So she worked at Jackson State. Okay.
Yeah, she worked at Jackson State, but my mom was an alumnus of Gremlin. They got engaged Southern Jackson State game in 1967 when he proposed to her at the game.
At the game?
Yeah, it's a different time, bro. They met at teacher orientation that August.
We told us about that.
Got engaged the Southern game in October and were married November the 3rd. So
I didn't know that part of the story. I knew that he definitely told us a story about when he saw her for the first time, and he knew he had to find out who this woman was. But I never knew how quickly they got engaged and then married. Never knew that.
67. That's the summer of love. That was the thing.
Wow, it was the summer of love. That's quick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry about it. Oh, okay. All right. So now, Ollie, you are in the band. You have made it through your freshman year. Usually the scariest times of everyone's boom life because we're learning how to be a boomsman or a boomswoman, or we're learning how to play 90-something tunes per game. We're learning how to train our bodies to physically be able to do this. So now, sophomore year, you're upperclassman. Doc's still band director. So life has changed a little bit now. Or what was life like after your freshman year?
After my freshman year, it was still some of the same. I mean, till I left the book. And I marched with you guys for a very short time in '98, just a little like 2-3 games or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. They kicked out. They kicked out a few people. And they brought back '94, if y'all remember. But anyway,
Larry Jackson came back. Maurice.
Maurice. It was a lot of folks. So what happened was people still were the same. That the funny stuff was they would still ask me, "Hey, can you tell your daddy da 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 da? Can you tell your daddy da 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 da?" I'm like, okay, whatever. And always, this is the always. I'm expected to know all the answers of everybody's questions. So what are we playing? This, that, and other. Are we going to this game? And I didn't know anything. And that never stopped. It's like people assumed that I knew stuff. I didn't know anything. I'm a band member just like you. In a certain ways, it was worse on me because he was harder on me than anyone else. He would make a point at least once a week to put me on blast for something. For something, he would make a point. My freshman year. Freshman year band camp, and y'all know how it was. I don't know if y'all still do PT, and I mean not PT, but marching fundamentals in the AAC.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all did the AAC in that
all night before the upperclassmen came back.
All night. Still do it now. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about in the AAC, but like some years they did it outside. Well, we were in the AAC, and to folks that don't know, yes, we would stand at attention for 30 minutes straight, literally just stand at attention for 30 minutes, just sitting there at attention. And so, I mean, you can't see, but I just reached my finger down on the side of my leg and scratched my leg like this. I mean, that was what they moved. And, it's quiet at AAC, and I hear this voice. Ollie, what the heck are you doing? What? I'm like, oh, God. And everybody cracking up. That every time. So that was my freshman year. First week of band camp, it was already on blast. Then in, I remember it was the Valley game in '94. We blew a hole in Valley because they're Valley. So we get outside and we stand at attention, get ready to march out. And my mama set me out, man. She was in the stands and she was, Ollie, there's some cousin who I still don't know. Can you wave at your cousin? Because they probably want to see. There go Ollie right there. And she wanted me to wave because you're in uniform. It's hard to pick out who's who. So I turned and waved. And so he said, Ollie, you at attention, boy. You don't move at attention. This is in Memorial Stadium in front of everybody. So he made a point to do that all the time. All the time. Get in line, boy. Now, I never had a point to say something like, hey, you don't know your music because I know my music. I'm going to play the crap out of a trombone. In life, people can say whatever they want. You're ugly, you're short, you're tall, you're whatever it is they say about me, but they can't say I'm going to play that trombone. I'm gonna play.
Ollie, as a father, I'm gonna tell you that Dr. Liddell loved the hell out of you because he was watching you when he probably shouldn't have been watching you.
Probably something going on.
If you seeing this, it was like 100 other things going on, but he was looking at you. So, like, as a father of a son, and I know you know as well as a father,
of course.
If he picked that little stuff out to call you out in front of everybody,
but I think it's also purposeful. Because you don't want to be seen like, hey, this is a favorite. Look, my son is playing. He's holding a trombone right now. One day, hopefully, he gets me in my band. And I'm probably gonna do the same stuff. I don't want it to be seen like, oh, this is your son, so you let your son get away with murder. No, I'm gonna hold you to the same standard I hold everyone else to. So I think it was purposeful.
It was.
But when you're 18 and you get put on blast, it was like, man, come on, man, you don't have to do it like that. But that's him.
I got a question. It's a two-part.
Yes, ma'am.
So part one is, before Jackson State, had you ever been under Doc's tutelage? And two, what did you learn? What's something that you learned from or about Doc that you didn't or hadn't before being in his band?
Wow. That's a good question. Okay. Well, he did, like early on when I first started playing trombone, obviously he would, show me little things. Hey, he's a band director. He wanted to help me out, put me on certain stuff. But after a while, it was pretty much, he was kind of push me. And I know he would probably I'd be in my room practicing or whatever. And he walked by the hall, back up. Boy, you sounded better in the 7th grade, and keep walking on to his room. But that was to stay, to keep me focused and keep me working. He had me play. I mean, I played on a piece of crap trombone. I mean, a piece of absolute crap. Very embarrassing. I walked down the hall, the horn would just fall out the case at any time. The case would stay closed. And he bought it in the pawn shop for $10. I'm dead serious. The reason why is because I have an older brother who was in the band, not at Jackson State, but he was in the band briefly, and he bought him this like $10,000 expensive Selma saxophone, and he quit after 2 years. So his thing was, he wanted to make sure I was serious about it before he invested that money. And I didn't get a decent trombone until the spring semester of my senior year. I played on crap. I mean, crap. It was, the slide could barely move. But he would do that. There are a lot of life lessons. So yes, I've been on his tutelage day, and I also briefly, he was the all-city band clinician my junior year in high school. He was all-city band clinician. So that was brief. I don't know about lessons as far as life lessons I learned from him. There are so many life lessons I learned from my dad, though, and still learning from him today. That is just little nuggets, and some things at 18, 19, at 12, at 10, at whatever. There are things, lessons that it's like 2 weeks ago. Oh, that's what he was talking about. Oh, okay. Little things about navigating a professional world with a PhD. When, especially in his day, there were very, very few African-American male teachers with PhDs, even masters.
Wow.
And some of it was a point of jealousy. Some of it was a point of different things to navigate the being a black man in this country where, educated versus non-educated, kind of navigating that. It's a lot of things I've learned about just being a man in general from him. But my time at Jackson State was awesome. So regardless, it was awesome. That is the only time in my life, the only time frame where I would not mind running it back, doing it again. That's the only time.
Dude, that's crazy.
How many times have we heard that, man?
Ollie, didn't mean to cut you off, but we talked about the same exact thing, the last show and the first show.
Man,
I posed the question. I was like, what would I do differently if I could change something about my time at the Boom? And I said I need 4 more years of that.
Yes, sir.
4 more years of that, like exactly that. And it's crazy that you're sharing this stuff. You and when people come on here, they're gonna have similar stories, and then it's gonna be stories and portions of their life that we don't even know and we learning now. So it's amazing to hear this. And you came in 94, we came through in 98, and it's like the same thing, but some different stuff going on. So man, that I can tell you that Boom life is real. People don't understand it, man. It's real out here.
Another thing. So my class, we were, a lot of folks say they were a crab band, right? They were a crab band. You know how many upperclassmen there were in 94?
No.
27.
Wow.
That entire band was 27. That's not counting J-Sets, but 27 instrumentalists in that band were upperclassmen. That was an entire freshman band. Nobody Does It Better came out that band, baby. We were. Man, listen, I put my crab class up against anybody. Maurice,
98 though. 98.
Fat Nasty.
98.
Oha, these are. Hey, have y'all talked about how crab names stick and like people like
we haven't got to that, but that's good though.
It's coming, but we got something that we can't say.
Okay. But it's just a little tip. My mom thought Oha was his real name for years. How's Oha? I was like, Mama, that boy's name is Clifton. His name is not Oha. People don't know that. Some people don't know his name is Clifton, but
a lot of people don't know that.
It's Oha. That's my crab brother. That was man. Oh my God, I could. That's this is a special time, man. And I know I just watching your shows. I know I can echo some of the stuff you're talking about. It's like when you see somebody, it's like anywhere. Love. And it's like within like 2 minutes, we talking about back when y'all remember when Pop did such and such. Y'all remember when Magruder's, hey baby, look at it.
that's Magruder forever.
and Mr. Adams has these sayings, man, that are gonna stick with me forever. Some of them I can't say on air, but this is like the thing, one of them that actually stuck with me, that son, don't buy cheap liquor. Look up. Where you go to look up.
Look down, look up.
Look up.
That is so funny and true, because that's stuck with me too.
Remember that.
When you go to the liquor store, look up.
Change my life. Change my life.
Change life changing. Like he literally stood in front of the band and said this. We were like, okay. Later on in life, we understand. We understand what you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
it was a paradigm shift, man.
Oh, goodness gracious.
It was a paradigm
that's
shift.
Another story right there. Paradigm shift. I got that term from Doc. But anyway,
I got that term from Doc.
Ollie, man, listen, man. I really I said this the last show we were talking with James, and we were like, man, we gotta come back and do a part 2 or something. And I'm listening to your stories, and I'm saying the same thing again. Man, we gotta bring you back like a part 2, because I know there are like tons of more stories that we could get into of just you and just being the band director's son. Like that's a whole vibe by itself. And then you were a great player, and then you turned into a band director yourself, following in his footsteps and continuing to follow in his footsteps. So, man, kudos to you for doing that. We'll have to bring you back, man. I don't know.
For sure.
We'll have to figure it out. So, I guess we can wrap this up, bring this to a close. Ollie, man, thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing those stories. Thank you for teaching me. See how you teaching folks still. Even when you're not in front of in the band room, you're still teaching. You're providing education for all of the masses.
Yes, sir.
I saw your finger. Church finger go
one
up.
last question. It sounds like you already answered it, but I'm going to ask anyway.
Do it.
You were a section leader, right?
Yes, sir.
Carl Cunningham was your section leader?
Yes, he was.
Okay. What was your section's best year?
Oh, gee. Well, I was in a band. Okay.
I know it might stir up something, but I don't care.
It's easy answer for me. 1995. 1995.
Everybody picked 95, man. Every section picked 95.
In 95 was not a big band. 95 was a small band as far as Jackson State bands are concerned. But that trombone section, man, oh my God, it was just straight killers. There was some like that came in with y'all some good. I mean, it's just been good thing. Let me say something about the trombone section that I can toot our horn. I think that we are the most connected as far as generationally from the even back in the 70s and up to now of any. I mean, like we talk to the younger guys. We really do and it's not so much old head. Boy, y'all wasn't doing this one. I wasn't doing it like this when I was. It's really
I appreciate that
to help these young guys, and I think that's led to the success and consistency of the trombone section of Jackson State. The source of power, Funky Freight Train. Yes, sir.
Hey,
Dr. Liddell.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Liddell. I'm calling you Dr. Liddell because that's who you are, man. I really appreciate you, man. And I'm proud of you. Like when I see you on all the socials, winning your accolades and doing your big things in Tennessee and the music associations and all that type of stuff. Like I know you're worthy of it. So I really appreciate everything that you're doing. It makes me proud to see all the growth that you're putting into these kids, man. Awesome work, man. Kudos, dude.
Appreciate it, bro.
Definitely.
Appreciate it.
And let me say, I don't even like the awards that you get, Ollie. I didn't even know existed until you won them. I'm like, wait, what?
It's some of them I won. I didn't know.
The year, like how? What? I never even knew this existed. Like you keep getting these awards, and they're like national awards, and I'm like, this is so
some of them
wild.
I didn't know about. Some of them I didn't know about. So they called me. I was like, really? A couple of them were like total shocks. So. I'm happy.
Yeah, so very proud of you for sure. Like, piggybacking off what Toby said for sure.
Ollie, once again, man, we appreciate you. Thank you once again. We'll do this again, man. Thank you for the knowledge. Thank you for the information. And thank you for being in the boom because you were a major contribution to the sonic boom of the South.
Love the boom, baby.
Love the boom. All right, y'all. That's it. We out of here. Toby, Danielle, Terrell. Peace out.
Thank you, Ollie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ollie.